From Star Television Network in Freetown, this is the National News Bulletin. Hello and welcome, I am Leonela Jawara. And first, let's have a look at the top stories. The National Youth Service commissions over 500 COP members in their third batch of the National Youth Service scheme.
We know 21 days is a short time to train people, mature people particularly, to know everything. But what we're doing here is triggering in their minds how to wake up early, job ethics, civility, nationalism, patriotism, cooperation amongst each and every one of them.
Member of Parliament for Constituency 129, Honorable Emmanuel Said Conte, outlined some of his successes and real challenges faced in 2020 and crafted out plans for 2021 towards his constituency.
During the course of 2020, I get about close to 400 to 500 students will be the attempt or take the NPSC exam. I give them NPSC exam materials. I give them face masks. I give each one of them sanitizer, which they all been there for use for go inside or go take the examination.
Facilitators of Learning Garage, one of the widely viewed educational program on Star Television, as on Friday, January 15th, presented with a portrait award from the Rights to Education in recognition for outstanding teaching on the use of English language.
So I believe anybody who uses his own effort, creative effort to foster learning in the use of language must be recognized.
And in sports, after 20 years, Sierra Leone gets another FIFA female referee. All these making the headlines. Let's now get you details of the news. The National Youth Service has commissioned over 500 COP members in their third batch of the National Youth Service scheme. Now, the exercise follows 21 days of orientation given to the COP, which involves physical and moral training to prepare them for service. Moses Ojo Kamara takes up the story.
God bless National Youth Service. God bless, our Lord is Sierra Leone.
The National Youth Service was established by an Act of Parliament in 2016. It started the training of corps in 2018 with 200 youths for the first batch and another 200 in 2019 for the second batch. This year, 524 youths formed part of the scheme, consisting of 346 males and 178 female. Mohammed Onana Jallo, Executive Director, National Youth Service, noted. Mr. Jallo added that after the 21 days training of young people, they will be deployed into different institutions based on areas of specification for a period of 1 year and is expecting to get good feedback from their bosses.
Well, we know 21 days is a short time to train people, mature people particularly, to know everything. But what we're doing here is triggering in their minds how to wake up early, job ethics, civility, nationalism, patriotism, cooperation amongst each and every one of them, because as you have seen, they are coming from different backgrounds, different districts, and so we want to teach them how to live amongst themselves without any problem.
AIG Patrick Johnson, Director of Training, said they are training these corps in areas of civic education to know their rights and obligations, community policing, and how law enforcement works.
The discipline you'll be going through here for these few days is similar to what we went through here a few years back, preparing for the war. In this case, during my research, as I've seen that the National Youth Service was created to cater for young graduates in the employment market to growth by creating the work opportunities and sustain the livelihood. You have been chosen to prepare you into the next phase after your academic work.
Mohamed Oman Bangura, Minister of Youth Affairs, while giving the keynote address, shared his story from being a tailor to becoming a baker and an accountant before becoming a minister of this administration. He called on young people to have a positive mindset and always look for opportunities to build a good track record with self-esteem, integrity, and discipline.
If it can happen for a son of a widow, a Molanke pusher, a former street boy, it happened for me. Come up from that stage, from market, a Molanke, tailor, Camfriton, big house boy, today me a minister, my sister, my brothers, it can happen for you. But that one day all the rest of Una, how you believe yourself, how you carry yourself. So my kid just say, oh, the one that went know me go tell you say, they never know how it happened. God they help, but God they help the one that will help themselves. Pastor Notoso, sir. We all get one thing we will only follow. But when you do things differently, you believe in yourself. And not to all man, we all not go make at the same time. When we graduate again, the people then when I'm squatting them, like the club when we be there, and my classmates them, my roommates them, when they graduate, the same place where they work, then they pay them 4 million some 100, then they pay me 250,000. The same degree, the same year graduate. These are my close friends then, and one part of me end up for work the same side. In the recruit as ALM manager, asset and liability manager, me they recruit me as internship. But when they ready for buying first motor car, na me too, sir.
The Chief Superintendent of the Sierra Leone Peacekeeping and Law Enforcement Academy, Aliu Jallo, who also doubles as a camp commandant, reiterated on the note for young people to be disciplined.
Today is day 4 and the induction is going as planned. The camp standing orders has been read and explained to participants. There will be no compromise in any infraction of the standing orders on camp and any national law. Mr. Minister, sir, I want to use this opportunity to call on you to be a witness that we are not going to compromise in any infractions on campus.
For Star News, I am Moses Oju Kamara.
The Honorable Member of Parliament for Constituency 129, Emmanuel Saidu Conte, has in an interview with Star Television outlined some of his successes and weighed out challenges faced in 2020 and crafted out plans for 2021. Here's the report.
The Honorable Member of Parliament of Constituency 129, Honorable Emmanuel Saidu Conte, has in an interview with Star Television outlined some of his successes and challenges faced for the year 2020 and his future plan for the year 2021 towards his constituency. Honorable Emmanuel Saidu Conte is the Member of Parliament for both Kongoton and that of Tembetown.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for keeping us through. Also today we don't see 2021. I mean 2020 has been a very challenging year for me personally as an MP, but generally as a country. You know, we started off well with most of the projects that we have outlined. We have been on code the short term for 2020. We started it well. But by March, April, we can get some breakdown because of the COVID. But even with COVID delay, I will still try to continue some of them projects away. But if we reach them now, I think I can't go forward because the government is going to make a lot of restrictions and monitoring and so many activities there. So I will pipe down. Until the end of the year, I'm not been doing much. I got working only monthly community engagement meeting, but because of course the COVID restriction of that convergence and also together, so all that have been put on hold. Now that we are put 2021, I will see what God gets for me and I will continue the projects they made and we don't suspend because of the COVID-19. Well, I guess some big project then, I get minor ones then. I mean, chief amongst the things that we are entitled to undertake, the construction of the road rehabilitation will lead to Tendertown, up at Tendertown, White Stick, to Beckley Lane, and up at Tendertown, White Stick to Nelson Lane. I mean, that work will be commissioned inside here, and the work still in progress. But next week, by the grace of God, around over 200 bags of cement, we will add to the 600 bags of road use. We will continue that project. The one big challenge I got for that road is like, I requested SLI for coming for help. I mean, I'm still waiting. I didn't come in one area we will try to patch. I still appreciate. So they said, Honorable, you know what to do for help with. They will make this road so because the road don't go bad, you know, the access for the motor cars will go up, bike then get challenged, keke then get challenged. But what thing draw my attention most now be one very day we post to bomb by a possible to get access for work. So I went to that house, I see and one of the challenge has been the access to the road. So then we come up as one of the needs during the needs assessment are able for capture. And I say, I can't do it alone, okay, do it as a team. During the course of 2020, I get about close to 400 to 500 students will be the attempt or take the NPSC exam. I give them NPSC exam materials, I give them face masks, I give each one of them sanitizer, which they all been there for use for go inside or go take the examination. Then more importantly, most of the ones that will be rich where they do take examination outside, I give them a small portion of small cash and envelope. Then each of the schools then, whether within the community, whether the center, like government, technical, I give them the big bottle and liquid soap and 10 sanitizer. I give same to Northwood Girls High School and I give same to Rhino. All the school principals and they may come and send a representative and receive the items during the COVID. But as we all join to protect the COVID because of the appeal the speaker been giving in isolation, I've been able to rally out to the people in the community and I donate close to 400 on 2 separate donations. Veronica bucket, hand sanitizer, liquid soap, and distribute on every community, every zone, every road, and every street. I can get support from like a DKT International, I get support from global services, I get support from most of the community corporate houses who they do business in the community. I get a big donation with a face mask and and corona material from Carford International, an NGO within the community, and they give me promotional material, stickers. They gave me masks, close to 4,000 masks in carton, face masks. So what I did was I do a separate donation of them material and I go on the streets and max up campaign. I was the first in the community or in Clinton to do a max up campaign. I took these masks to the markets. I gave all the market women face masks. I don't give them Veronica bucket soap and everything daily. We learn them and continue to practice the hand washing system. I give each and every market woman table, I give them the masks. Even though they can buy that day, I give them masks. I don't have a Congoton market, I don't have a Tengoton market, I don't have Tengoton parking ground to all them passengers that will come and board the vehicles. I don't have Tengoton wash car, I don't have a Congo Cross Okada rider parking ground. The one within a Congoton, I do one day, then the one within a banana water by Monitor. I give them all marks. It was a max-up campaign which took me the whole day.
For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
Right to Education has presented a Portraits Award to the facilitators of Learning Garage, one of the widely viewed educational program on Star Television, in recognition for outstanding teaching on the use of English language. According to the Executive Director, Right to Education, Mohammed Salami, the Learning Garage is considered as one of the outstanding education programs that has helped students in various disciplines to build on their cognitive skills. The presentation ceremony was done at the Media One Center on Friday, January 15th. Here is a highlight of the occasion.
Right to Education has on Friday, 15th January 2021, presented a Portrait Award to the facilitator, Alison Takamara, of a widely viewed educational television program, The Learning Garage, in recognition for his outstanding teaching on the English language. In an interview, the founder and executive director of Right to Education, Mohammed Salami, stated that Alisonta has been dedicated, consistent, and a passionate teacher whose English lessons on television have been contributing immensely to the rebranding process of our country's educational system. He further stated that since 2020, during the emergence of the COVID-19, which led to the indefinite closure of learning institutions across the country, the Learning Garage was a significant platform in the transfer of knowledge for students at home.
The use of language is a very critical element, in our nation. It's an official language. So I believe anybody who uses his own effort, creative effort to foster learning in the use of language must be recognized. So that's how I came about, recognizing Alisonta from afar. I looked at him from a distance. I saw first his dedication, his consistency, and passion. So for me, these are the three things. You might have the drive, to promote education in whatever capacity. But there are critical elements I look at. First, the dedication. Second, the consistency. I need to see how consistent this person is. It's your passion or drive to promote education, not be just a one-off, thing. It has to be consistent. So for me, from afar, I saw this consistency. Whenever you see him on TV, I know, of course, we're all young people. There are problems out there. We live at home. It's quite difficult for someone to give his all selflessly, to give his service. For me, I think these are the people we should recognize, and that's how I came about, recognizing him and presenting him this wonderful award.
Also speaking in an interview, the facilitator, Learning Garage, Alison Takamara, stated that his vision is to share knowledge with the younger ones, especially those who are taking their external examinations. The Learning Garage, he said, is a platform created in order to complement the efforts of the government in a free and quality education in the country.
We began Learning Garage in June 2019 in response to the speed at which pupils are failing, having bad grades in mathematics and English language, purely speaking. So we saw the need. It will do us well and will do the nation well if we organize a program, a TV program that will of course help students understand the most difficult areas when it comes to English, of course, and mathematics, meaning when it comes to English language, the summary, comprehension, oral, and of course OBJ, what they have to do to be able to do well, and then when it comes to time management. So since then to now, we've done a lot. We've gone through adults, and we have never stopped. We come up 3 times a week. Since then to now, that has never changed. And we of course touch life, because after every WAS, student called us, they say, oh, thank you very much, sir. I got, B3, I got this. I've been getting such accolades, over and again. They call us and thank us for what we are doing, meaning we are touching lives. So we are making the desired impact. We are helping government, achieving its flagship goal, that is the free quality education. So we'll not stop. You know, we always sit back after a month or so. We sit back and review our content. What do we do to improve? You know, what do we do to make our content more user friendly, to help those who actually are very difficult, to help difficult learners, you know, understand what we are saying. So when we're on television, we repeat things over and again. We repeat our lessons. You know, when we do one, we make sure it comes again once, twice, thrice, to help those who, you know, are very difficult to learn, or those who are very slow to pick up things and then get along with others. So we'll not stop. I am speechless. I'm very happy. It brings self-belief and dedication to the work I'm doing. It means we are doing well. You know, to be seen, to be recognized for such, it just speaks to the fact that we are doing well. If we are not been doing well, we will not be, of course, be seen by people like this. So I'm happy. The appreciation goes to also the management and staff of Star TV, Channel 21, and of course Channel 36. You know, for creating the platform for us to help others outside. So I'm happy. We have a dedicated team on Learning Garage, the editors, you know, the man doing the mathematics, and of course my very self. So our team is very dedicated. And you can see one of, in fact, the elements making the citation is that for our being consistent. We are very, very consistent since we began. We have never stopped.
For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
And you're still watching the news bulletin here on Star TV. Finally, let's go to sport, as Sierra Leone has produced the first FIFA female referee in the country since 1999. Precious Amara, former sprinter, was delighted with this achievement. The president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Aisha Yuansin, said this is a big development for the country's football. Let's have more with the sports correspondent.
The National Sport Authority Sierra Leone Northwest Region Sport Development Officer, Precious Amara, has been appointed as the only Sierra Leonean female FIFA referee for 2021. Precious is the first female Sierra Leonean to be appointed as a FIFA referee since the last batch in 1999. Precious Amara was a sprinter with a lot of medals and certificates of various sports competitions, including sports, university, and community. Precious started her refereeing career in 2012 under the Western Area Football Association, WAFA. According to Madam Precious speaking to Star TV Sports, her dream was to become a professional athlete, but the dream did not materialize due to early injury, and that forced me to turn attention to both administrative and officiating aspects of sport. Precious said, the FIFA female referee holds a higher teacher's certificate, HTC, in physical health education from the Milton Magai College of Education and Technology. Before now, she was a staff at the National Sports Council and the Ministry of Sport as a sport development officer. The president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Madam Aisha Yuansi, congratulated Madam Precious. She encouraged other female referees to follow the footprint of Madam Precious. She added that this is a part of her development in capacity building for the growth of Sierra Leone football. For Star TV Sports in Freetown, I am Isabella Stanley.
And that's all in the Star News Bulletin file. Thank you for watching. I am Leonora Jora. Stay with us for more information and education.